Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes in life, you reach a point where you have to pause, take a breath, and make a decision. Am I going to stay stuck where I am? Or am I going to reset, restart, and refocus? Because the truth is, life is not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you're willing to get back up. Everybody gets hit. Everybody faces storms. Everybody has moments where their back is against the wall. But not everybody chooses to reset when the weight of the world tries to break them. Resetting doesn't mean you failed. Resetting means you recognize that where you are is not where you're meant to stay. Restarting doesn't mean you've lost the race. Restarting means you're willing to lace your shoes back up and run it again, even if nobody's clapping for you, even if nobody sees the pain it took just to show up. Restarting is not weakness. It's a declaration that quitting is not an option. At some point, you've got to ask yourself, what am I really focused on? Because focus determines direction. If all you see is the setback, you'll live in the setback. If all you see is the pain, you'll stay in the pain. But if you shift your vision and refocus on your purpose, your mission, the reason you started in the first place, suddenly the weight gets lighter. Suddenly the path gets clearer. It doesn't mean it gets easier, but it means your spirit knows where it's going. Your struggles are not a stop sign. They're shaping you, refining you, teaching you things you could never learn if life was always smooth. The delay is not denial. The setback is not the end. It's a detour, something meant to prepare you for the next chapter if you don't tap out too early. And when you make the choice to reset, restart, and refocus, discipline has to step in, because you're not always going to feel motivated. You're not always going to feel inspired. Some days you won't even feel like getting out of bed. But discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to do the work. I'm still going to fight for what I said I wanted. That's how you get clarity. That's how you separate yourself. What you do when you reset doesn't just impact you. Somebody is watching your life right now. Somebody is watching how you respond when life punches you in the mouth. And if you get back up, if you restart, if you refocus, you give somebody else hope. You show them it's possible. You show them that no setback can define their destiny. So today, make the decision. Stop carrying yesterday's weight into tomorrow. Stop letting your mistakes, your failures, your pain keep you from your purpose. Press reset. Restart with courage. Refocus your vision, because your future is too important, your purpose is too valuable, and your destiny is too great to let what tried to break you stop you. This is your moment. Reset, restart, and refocus, and watch how your life transforms. Life has a way of hitting you when you least expect it. One moment, everything feels like it's falling into place, and the next, it feels like the ground has been pulled out from under you. That's the reality. We all get knocked down. You're going to face setbacks, disappointments, heartbreaks, and failures. But here's the thing, being knocked down is not the end. The power is in how you respond. The power is in the choice you make after the hit. You might not be able to control the punch life throws at you, but you can control whether you stay on the ground or whether you reset. Resetting doesn't mean you erase the past. It means you stop letting the past define the future. It means you give yourself permission to start fresh, to breathe again, to shift your perspective. It's saying, yes, I got hit, but I'm not staying down. Yes, life broke me for a moment, but it will not break me forever. You see, the reset button is about refusing to let the knockdown become the knockout. It's about looking at your pain and saying, this will not bury me, it will build me. It's understanding that the scar doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. That moment when life knocked you flat, that moment can be the very foundation you stand on when you rise again. When life knocks you down, you don't have to come back the same way you fell. You can reset your mind, reset your focus, reset your spirit. And when you rise this time, you rise stronger, wiser, tougher. Because the knockdown wasn't designed to destroy you. It was designed to reveal what you're really made of. Restarting is one of the most misunderstood parts of the journey. So many people look at restarting as weakness, as if having to begin again somehow makes you less worthy, less capable, or less committed. But the truth is, restarting is not failure. It is resilience in action. Restarting is saying, life may have knocked me down, but I'm not going to stay here. I may have stumbled, but I refuse to stop moving forward. When you restart, you're not erasing everything you've been through. You're not throwing away the lessons, the scars, or the wisdom that came from the struggle. Restarting means you carry all of that with you, but you refuse to let it weigh you down. You use it as fuel. You use it as proof that you've already survived battles most people would have quit in. And if you survive that, what makes you think you can't rise again? Quitting says, I'm done. Restarting says, I'm not finished. Quitting is final. Restarting is faith. Quitting lets the pain win. Restarting says the pain will not have the last word. Every time you restart, you're making a declaration, not to the world, but to yourself, that you still believe in your mission, you still believe in your purpose, and you still believe in your ability to overcome. Restarting doesn't erase your journey, it redefines it. It proves that you're not bound by yesterday's mistakes, yesterday's failures, or yesterday's pain. It proves that no matter how many times you fall, you still have the courage to rise. And that courage right there, that's what separates those who quit from those who win. Life has a way of pulling your attention in 1,000 different directions. Distractions are everywhere. People's opinions, temporary setbacks, the noise of the world, even the pain you've been through. And if you're not careful, you'll spend all your energy chasing things that don't matter, giving your time to battles that don't build you, and letting your vision get clouded by things that were never meant to hold your focus. That's why at some point you have to step back and refocus on what matters most. Refocusing doesn't mean the distractions disappear. It means you decide they no longer deserve the best of you. It means you stop pouring yourself into things that drain you and start investing in things that grow you. It's the discipline to look past the temporary and keep your eyes on the eternal. Because when your focus is on your purpose, setbacks lose their power. When your focus is on your mission, other people's opinions stop mattering. And when your focus is on growth, failure becomes nothing more than feedback. The reason so many people feel stuck is because their focus is stuck on the wrong things. They're focused on the problem instead of the solution, the pain instead of the lesson, the past instead of the future. But when you shift your focus, your entire perspective changes. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what's next? You stop looking at what broke you and start seeing how it built you. What you focus on will grow. If you feed your fears, they'll consume you. If you feed your excuses, they'll define you. But if you feed your vision, your purpose, your calling, you'll rise. You endure. You'll walk through storms that would have drowned the old version of you because your focus won't let you quit. Struggles are part of life that none of us can escape. They come in different forms: loss, rejection, failure, heartbreak, delays, disappointments. And when they show up, they can make you feel like you've reached a dead end. But struggles are not a stop sign. They are not there to tell you it's over. They are there to test how much fight you really have in you. Every struggle carries a lesson. Every obstacle carries an opportunity. The challenge is most people stop in the middle of it. They let the pain convince them that the struggle means they should quit. But what if the very thing you're fighting right now is not blocking you, but building you? What if the delay isn't denial, but preparation? What if the setback isn't punishment, but positioning? When you go through struggles, it's easy to think you've been forgotten or overlooked. But sometimes the struggle is the exact place where your strength is being forged. You don't grow when life is comfortable. You grow when life is pressing you. You don't discover who you are when everything is easy. You discover who you are when everything is hard, and you decide to keep moving anyway. If you let struggles stop you, you'll never see what's on the other side of them. But if you push through, if you keep walking when your legs are tired, if you keep believing when your heart is heavy, if you keep showing up when quitting feels easier, that's when you find out the struggle was never meant to end you. It was meant to prepare you. The storm you're facing right now doesn't mean it's over. The mountain in front of you isn't there to block you. It's there to prove how strong you've become. Your struggles are not a stop sign. They are a signal that you're on a path worth fighting for. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the engine. Motivation comes and goes. It shows up when you feel inspired, when things are exciting, when everything is fresh and new. But what about the days you don't feel it? What about the mornings you wake up tired, frustrated, overwhelmed, and ready to throw in the towel? That's when discipline steps in. Discipline says, I don't need to feel like it. I'm still going to do it. And when you live with discipline, something powerful happens. Clarity is born. Clarity doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment or hoping everything lines up just right. Clarity comes from the daily grind, from showing up again and again, even when you don't see the results yet. Every rep you put in at the gym, every hour you invest in your craft, every sacrifice you make when no one's watching, It's creating clarity. It's carving a path. It's shaping your focus. Without discipline, life feels noisy, messy, confusing. You get pulled in 100 directions because you're waiting on motivation to carry you. But when you live disciplined, the noise starts to fade. You know what matters. You know what doesn't. You don't waste energy chasing shortcuts or distractions because your actions are aligned with your vision. Discipline makes things simple. It doesn't make the journey easy, but it strips away the clutter. It teaches you that consistency beats intensity, that showing up every day matters more than showing up every once in a while. And the more disciplined you become, the clearer your life becomes, your purpose, your goals, your direction. You don't build clarity by thinking about it. You build clarity by acting on it. By waking up and doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. And when you stack enough days of discipline, one after another, you look back and realize you're no longer lost. You're no longer guessing. You see exactly where you're going. Discipline created that vision. Discipline created that clarity. When you decide to hit reset, it's not just about you. The way you get back up, the way you restart, the way you refocus, somebody's watching that. Somebody's paying attention to how you respond when life knocks the wind out of you. And for them, your reset might be the very thing that gives them the courage to keep going in their own fight. Think about it. People don't draw strength from seeing you live a perfect, flawless life. They draw strength from seeing you broken but still standing, from seeing you scarred but still moving forward, from watching you take hits that should have ended you but didn't. That's what inspires people. That's what gives others hope. That if you can get back up after everything you've been through, then maybe they can too. Every time you reset, you're telling a story. You're telling the story that failure is not final, that pain doesn't have the last word, that your past doesn't control your future. And someone somewhere is waiting to hear that story, not in words, but in how you live. Your life becomes the message. You may not even realize it, but your reset could be the light in someone else's darkness. Your restart could be the example that shows somebody they don't have to quit. Your refocus could be the reason someone decides to believe again. You don't have to have a title, a platform, or a stage to inspire somebody. You just have to live your truth, to keep pushing when everything in you wants to stop. Because inspiration isn't built in the easy seasons. It's built in the comeback. It's built in the moments when you had every reason to give up, but you chose to keep going. And when others see that, it awakens something in them. It gives them proof that if you can rise again, so can they. At the end of the day, life isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down when you do. Resetting doesn't erase your past, but it gives you the courage to face your future. Restarting doesn't mean you failed. It means you still believe in your purpose enough to try again. Refocusing doesn't make the storm disappear, but it reminds you of why you're still in the fight. Struggles are not stop signs. They are shaping you for something greater. Discipline will carry you when motivation runs out, and every reset you choose will not only lift you up, it will give someone else the hope they need to keep going. So don't let the weight of what tried to break you keep you from what you were created for. Don't let the voices of doubt drown out the voice of destiny. This is your moment to stand back up, to reset your spirit, to restart with courage, and to refocus on the vision that's inside you. Because your life, your purpose, your legacy, they are far too important to waste. The question isn't whether life will knock you down. The question is, when it does, will you have the courage to rise, reset, restart, refocus, and show the world that nothing can stop you from becoming who you were meant to be?